Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in. And it is time for another Chicago Bears preview as the Bears sit at 3-6, coming off of a bye week. And we face the Baltimore Ravens at home, who are 6-3, coming off a bad loss to the Miami Dolphins. And it's time to preview and give my predictions about this upcoming Bears contest. But before I get into that, leave this video a like. That helps the channel to grow. And if you are a first-time viewer, or if you haven't clicked that subscribe button, go right ahead, click that subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss a single video. But without further ado, let's dive into it.
I'm striving to get rich. That's why I always went 2 years without buying shoes and feet. Things change now. My mom hearing me with my music and she look a little proud.
Now, we all know the quarterback matchup between Justin Fields and Lamar Jackson. But first, I want to talk about Lamar Jackson going up against this Bears defense. Now, Lamar Jackson is listed as questionable, but it's looking like he's probably going to play this week. And Lamar Jackson brings a totally different dynamic than the Bears have faced this season, with his ability to run the football and make plays throwing the football as well. He's a little bit similar to Justin Fields, even though he's more of a runner than Justin Fields. Lamar Jackson presents a huge problem that this Bears defense has not seen before. And the Bears defense now probably may be without Khalil, Mack. Eddie Jackson, we're hoping to get him back. And this Bears defense has struggled the past couple of games. San Francisco, it struggled last week, or last game, that I should say, a little bit against Pittsburgh. This Bears defense has not been the best the past couple of weeks. And for them, they have to calm Lamar Jackson in the Baltimore Ravens running game, which is the absolute strength of this football team. Marquise Hollywood Brown, even though he's had some struggles with drops, is the biggest weapon outside of Mark Andrews at the tight end position. And you're going up a Baltimore Ravens offensive line, who's a very good offensive line. So the Bears are going to have to find ways to get some penetration up the middle. The corners are going to have to play better. The secondary are going to have to stick to their man, especially when Lamar Jackson gets outside of the pocket and scrambles. They're going to have to stay home on those zone read plays that the Baltimore Ravens likes to run. With Lamar Jackson's running ability and his big threat as with his legs, and he has also have a threat with his arm as well, he is going to present the Bears with huge problems. And especially if you don't have Khalil Mack to pair with Robert Quinn, because we've seen when one or other is not in the lineup, this Bears team has been struggling to get pressure. Now, when both are in the lineup, the Bears are getting pressure. Wouldn't say blitz more because Lamar is so dynamic, and the Bears have been blitzing, I believe, a little bit less in the past couple of weeks, in which I think that's kind of hurt them a little bit by not bringing much of the blitz, especially on the back end. Gibson and Eddie Jackson are ready to go, and hopefully both guys are ready to go, along with Jalen Johnson, who's, I think, played solidly, but Vildor opposite him has to step up as well, with Rashad Bateman, who's been having a couple of good games as well for the Baltimore Ravens at the receiver position. I just believe that Lamar Jackson is just going to present a ton of problems with his legs for this Bears defense. The Bears have not seen anything like Lamar, and they will never see anything like Lamar, whether it's bringing him off blitzes, whether it's him maybe probably in QB spy role, or whether it's him chasing down the running game of the Baltimore Ravens, which has been, like I said, successful and has been the staple of this Baltimore Ravens offense. Even though it struggled last week against the Miami Dolphins on that Thursday night contest, I believe every team has those blip games that they don't look the same as usual. So I'm not going to buy too much stock into that one game for the Baltimore Ravens. It was just the Dolphins came out with a good game plan. They came out and they really held this Baltimore Ravens offense in check. And I believe the Bears probably going to have to take a little bit of what the Dolphins were able to do, create some turnovers, make sure that Lamar Jackson is uncomfortable, whether he's running the football or whether he's throwing from the pocket. Get him uncomfortable and get him out of his rhythm, and then you will have a big chance to win this football game. This Chicago Bears offense starts and ends with two players, Justin Fields, David Montgomery. These two guys play well, especially against a Baltimore Ravens defense who struggled a bit last week against Miami with Marlon, Humphrey getting in and out. You have Patrick Quinn, who I still think is one of the better linebackers in football, and developing into that. You have Calais Campbell. You have a Ravens defense that did not play up into its potential last week against the Miami Dolphins. And once again, it comes down to this Bears passing game. Will the Bears passing game take some of what they did against the Pittsburgh Steelers and the momentum they started to gain in the second half with their passing game and the pass protection? Can they bring that into this week against the Baltimore Ravens? Another AFC North defense, another very good AFC North defense. Can the Bears bring some of that passing momentum into the game this week? Now, of course, I would like to see more of Khalil Herbert. I would like to see more of the Bears still trying to establish the running game, because that has been the bread and butter of this Chicago Bears offense this season. Now, we still need to see more RPOs. We still need to see more of Justin Fields on the move. We still need to see more of those things happening in this ball game, because I believe once you start to incorporate the run game, you can incorporate your play action and incorporate Justin Fields' legs as a weapon. Even though Justin Fields can beat you in the pocket, he has proved that he can beat teams in a pocket. But I think you raise his ceiling and you raise his productivity and you raise his level of production, you waive his effectiveness if you are able to run the football and if you are able to establish the passing game and the play action game against the Baltimore Ravens team, who has been, I believe, inconsistent on defense. If you are able to establish your running game, it sets up so much for this Bears offense. Whether it's the play action, the bootlegs, getting Justin Fields on the move. Now, we do have Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney questionable. One or the other, if you lose one or the other, that is going to affect this Bears offense tremendously, because those have been the only bright spots at wide receiver for the Bears this year. Now, Kmet has started to come on late, especially last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Justin Fields shown that he has some trust in Kmet, and I believe getting him more involved in this offense does benefit and takes some attention away from your running game. It takes a little bit of attention away from Mooney and Robinson, who's basically the only two receivers that has been somewhat productive for this Bears offense this season. And the running game has to be there. The offensive line has to protect. The offensive line has to be the reason that the Bears win this game. My three keys to a Chicago Bears victory. 1, establish the run game as they should every week. Establish the run game. That sets up everything for your offense. 2, you have to limit the effectiveness of Lamar Jackson. You just have to limit his effectiveness. Now, that's easier said than done, but they have to limit Lamar Jackson's effectiveness with this Baltimore Ravens offense, because that offense runs, starts, ends with the productivity of Lamar Jackson. So if they're able to get pressure on him, they're able to hit him and hit him consistently, that throws him off of his rhythm, and that throws this Baltimore offense off its momentum. And 3, establish passing game. You have to establish your passing game. Now, I know Marlon Humphrey and this Baltimore Ravens secondary has his moments. You have to find a way to establish your passing game. Even if Robinson, Mooney, one of those guys don't play, they play, Kmet, whatever. You have to establish your passing game, whether it's play action, rollouts, either way it goes, and protect Justin Fields. Point blank, period. But my pick for this game is going to be, I'm going to roll with the team on the roll, and I'm going to roll with the Baltimore Ravens in this game. Now, look, I've been picking against the Bears the past couple of weeks, and I've been right, and I'm going to pick against them again. As much as my fandom says don't pick the Ravens, but I have to be real honest. I do not see the Bears winning this game. I see Lamar Jackson having a really good day against this Bears defense. I don't see the Bears offense being any bit of consistent. It hasn't shown the ability to be consistent all year. Outside of Justin Fields having his best game so far of his career, I think Justin Fields will play solid, but I just don't think it will be enough of this Bears offense to be consistent enough to get a W against Lamar Jackson in this Ravens offense. And the Ravens defense, I think, can come up and make some plays and be solid. So I'm going to pick the Baltimore Ravens in this game, and I'm going with a score of 21-13. The Baltimore Ravens will win this game at Soldier Field. But that is all I have for you guys today. Make sure you guys leave this video a like. That helps the channel to grow tremendously. And do you agree or disagree with anything I say to this video? What are your predictions? What are your scores for this game? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I read my comments and I would love to see what you guys think. And also click the subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss a single video that I post. But I am APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Make sure you guys have a great and excellent day. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.